Welcome everyone online. We have some folks in the room and some of you joining us online. We're playing around with the chat feature, so right now it doesn't seem like you might be able to put anything in the chat, but that's okay because we'll have some more stuff adding here shortly, engagement-wise. But if you are online and you have not checked in for the event yet, please scan the QR code so that you can check in. That way we can track your attendance. We'd love to know that you are joining us online since it's an anonymous link. So please take a moment to do that. All right, so we're going to get started here. Thanks so much for joining us for our Career Fair Boot Camp, both in person and online. If you have not checked in yet, please make sure to scan the QR code to check into our event. And we'll get started here in just a second. So again, scan the QR code if you have not yet. All right, so today we're going to go over how to be successful at the career week, but mainly the career fair. So learning effective career tips, how to follow up after the career fair, and just in general of networking or after an interview, and then a quick overview of the resume do's and don'ts, because it's always so important to have a strong resume, especially when you're coming to the career fair, but also when you are just, applying to jobs in general. So wanted to give you some insight on our upcoming events. So if you haven't signed up for these events in Handshake yet, please make sure you do. There are going to be some really exciting times, both in person, virtual, hybrid options. So the first one on October 13th, Monday, we'll be in here doing some role play. It can be an in-person event or and you can join us virtually if you are not on campus that day. We're going to talk about how do we handle some professional interactions, and we'll role play and you'll get to let us know what we did well, what we need to improve on for the future. October 14th, a Tuesday, we're going to be doing a student networking mixer. This is a really fun opportunity. We did it last fall and had so much fun with it. It's in person, but just a good way to practice your networking and communication skills and get to meet other people that you haven't met before. October 15th is our most attended event. Usually we have around 200 students there, so make sure you're there and engaging with our employers. It's going to be from 1 to 3 on the 12th floor, so one floor above where we're at in this room. And wide variety of employers. We have plenty of people coming that are ready to chat with you, so that's what most of our programming today is going to be about. Level up your career is going to be so fun. We've never done something like this before, so we're really excited to gamify career interactions. There's going to be a wide variety of board games that we're going to play to practice talking about our communication skills, our critical thinking, teamwork, and just career in general, but in a new way. And then, as most of you know, AI has taken over a lot of different things, and the job search being one of that. So we want to give you all the tips and tricks to help you stand out in the job search and, beat those applicant tracking systems, know when it's a good time to use AI and when it's not such a great time. And most of these events are held during experiential learning hour, with the exception of the career fair. That does have a little bit of overlap, but that'll be from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. So, want to chat through first to get started here how the career fair is going to work, because I understand a lot of you had never experienced a career fair before. So this will be a little talking at you, and then we are going to get interactive. We have a QR code for everyone to interact with online that's joining us. So get ready. If you are joining us online, there will be pieces for you to interact. That way we all can come together and learn from each other. So the career fair is going to, like I said, be on the 12th floor. You'll be able to come on up, and we are going to have over 20 employers there ready to chat with you. It's going to be a very full room. So definitely, give yourself enough time. There could be a little bit of a line waiting for some of the employers, so might just have to patiently wait your turn for that. So once you come in, get off the elevator, our team is going to be there with a table set up, get you checked in. We'll have a resource room off to the side. So if you want to set down your backpack, if you want to just collect your thoughts a little bit, maybe you took you an hour to get into the HU, so you want to just relax for a moment or two. You'll put all that in the resource room, and then you're ready to head back. You can talk to one employer, or you could talk to all of them. I really encourage everyone to have an open mind when you're thinking about who you want to interact with, because that employer, while they might not be a marketing employer, for example, every organization has a marketing team, so they could have opportunities for you in a different aspect. And that's just one example. So every employer will have at least one person at their table, sometimes two, sometimes three. They'll have most likely some giveaways on their table, candy, stress balls, pens, that kind of thing that you're welcome to take. But the purpose of it is they're here to chat with you about what they, have to offer. So whether it be internships, full-time opportunities, part-time positions, they want to chat with you, but they also want to hear about you. So it's really important for you to practice, what you're going to talk with them about, that awkward tell me about yourself question, right? That some of us always struggle with answering, including myself. And then they want to know, what do you know about my organization? Have you taken the time to even look at what we do? I'm looking at Select Medical on the wall here because they're one of the employers coming. So what do you know about Select Medical? You obviously don't need to be a pro yet, but if you have a couple bullet points of why you're excited to talk to Select Medical and how your skill set could be valuable to them, it will really help set you apart. So like I said, over 20 employers that you can walk around with. Oftentimes, a lot of students then go back to the resource room and they take some notes on conversations that they had. One thing I really like to do when I'm at a networking event similar to a career fair or just in general is get their business card, right? And go back afterwards and just write a quick note about something you talked about. So when you do your email follow-up to them at a later point, you're like, oh yeah, I totally remember. I talked to Emily about, an internship in their lab setting at Select Medical. And it makes that follow-up a little bit easier. So tomorrow when you need to follow up, you're like, oh yeah, thanks for that reminder. So you are welcome to stay for as little or as long as you would like. The employers will leave around 3, and a lot of the times they're going to want you to follow up with them. So they're going to either want your resume, or they'll have a digital version of how you can, sign up for their notifications about opportunities. And then that's going to be on you to follow up and say, hey, I really enjoyed meeting with you. So we'll go over that in a couple minutes here on how to kind of navigate that conversation. Couple last points before we dive in on all the research aspect and the conversation piece is it's really important to note that we have a wide variety of employers coming that are covering all letters of STEM, all of our programs, CPT offerings. So really, again, this is an opportunity for you to put yourself out there. Even if you're currently working, it never hurts to build connections because you never know what could come, down the line in the future. So on the screen here, I have a screenshot of what our career fair currently looks like on Handshake. I'd love for everyone to navigate to this page so you can see on the screen here the website. So you should be able to see this at home and go to Handshake. If you're on your phone, Handshake's Career Center tab is down at the bottom. If you're on your computer, it's on the left-hand side. So you'll hit Career Center. And then it should probably say career affairs by your school, and that's when you'll see this. You'll see we currently have 19 employers registered, more funneling in every day. We're almost at our capacity, which is a great problem to have. But this is the screen you should see. Actilent registered today, so it might say Airgas and then Actilent might be first, just alphabetical order, but very similar screen, right? So this is how you can prepare. So definitely keep an eye on this as we get a little bit closer because more employers will be added into here. But you can learn more about their company. Their company page is also linked on here as well, so you can go to their website, learn more about them. Some of them on here have what positions that they're actively hiring for. Others do not. Our team is going to have a guidebook for you to showcase all the employers, what programs they're hiring for, and their website that will email out a couple days before the fair so you can last minute prepare. But we'll also have some printed copies at the career fair there. So this is the page for that. Now, I want you to take a couple minutes. And again, I know a lot of you are online, which is totally fine. I want you to look through that list. Take a look at it a little bit. And I want you to use this QR code, and we're going to drop the link in the chat if you're on a computer and you want to navigate it that way, to share with us one employer that you're excited to chat with. It'll require you to look through that a little bit, see what they're all about. So take a couple moments here, and you're going to add it to the Padlet. So if you've never used Padlet before, I already put my example on there. So when you navigate to that QR code, but it's all anonymous, so no one's going to know your answer. And down at the bottom, you'll hit the little plus sign, and then you'll add your own little, kind of like a sticky note, basically. So look through those employer lists. And if you know more than one employer that you're already excited to chat with, go for it. Add a little bit more there. And we're going to be watching that Padlet as well. Oh no. Sorry, everyone. I'm bringing it back on the screen. Am I good? Is that good? Thank you. Team, does anyone want to grab a mic and read off some because I can't see them? Oh, got it. There's a little bit of a delay. So again, we are using the code or the link in the chat to share at least one employer we're excited to chat with based on that screen that we already shared. So take a look through some of those employers. And on the Padlet, it just brings up the screen. You'll see my example there, and you'll hit the little plus sign and then add a little Post-it note, I guess you could call it, a digital Post-it note.
We did get one response.
Okay.
Members first.
Oh, nice.
Credit union. Yeah.
Great. What else? So again, if you don't have the code, because I think the live stream isn't letting us add it at the moment, just scan the QR code. You don't have to be signed in to access the Padlet.
We also got another one. Commonwealth of PA Administration.
Oh, nice. Commonwealth has so many opportunities for everyone.
We got another one. Lenga Tech.
Nice. Technology company. So as a couple more are funneling in, we're going to get that chat or that link in the chat for you because we're going to keep using this tool throughout the rest of the session. Think about, so we mentioned members first, right? When you think about members first, what probably comes to mind? They're a federal credit union. Probably, working at the teller desk, right? But there's so many more opportunities. We have quite a few students that have worked there as software development interns in the past. We've had individuals on their more the digital forensics side of things, because we got to make sure we, in case there's hacking involved and people steal money, right? So those teams need cybersecurity analysts. Data analytics is another position that I know they're hiring an HU student for at the moment. So that's something else to think about. They need data to inform their decisions. They have a humongous marketing team. They have a very, very wide variety of opportunities. So that's when you just got to think about things a little bit differently, because maybe you don't want to be a teller. Nothing's wrong with being a teller, but maybe that doesn't fit your career goals. So think about that in a different capacity. Many other business roles as well. Lingatech is a technology company, so they can help connect you with other businesses in the area that have technology positions. And the Commonwealth, so many different ones, right? So there's basically every single job in the Commonwealth relates to our STEM majors here. We're even potentially exploring a game design internship with them right now because they're making a recruiting game. So much variety there. They have IT teams, cybersecurity teams, home marketing, media side of things, video user experience. So those are just a couple examples. Engineering. Anything else that we've gotten online?
Eurofins.
Great. So Eurofins, science organization, right? Many of our biology, chemistry, biotechnology students head there, but there's also, a whole business department there. They have analytics teams there. They have marketing, human resources, business. Project management is also a really large organization there, or part of that organization.
And then I saw under the Commonwealth of PA comment, they added Capital Region Water and Engineering.
Nice. Yeah. So Capital Region Water, they come on about a yearly basis, but a wide variety of opportunities, especially for those science students, environmental science, engineering, project management. Again, they have a humongous IT team, a cyber team, because what if that gets hacked, right? They need to have protection in order. All right, so we're going to move on. But again, this Padlet we're going to keep using throughout the conversation. So just make sure you keep it up, or we'll have the QR code again. So I used Eurofins as an example here. So I'm so glad that somebody recommended that they were interested in looking at that. So when you are preparing to come to the career fair, it's so important to try to explore them a little bit ahead of time. Maybe you're not going to explore every 20 companies that's coming, but maybe, the top 5 that you're really interested in engaging with. So go to that company page, which are all listed in Handshake, so that makes it really easy for you to get there. So I clicked on the Eurofins one, for example. And these are just some things that I'd encourage you to think about. They're conversation starters. You can pick one, you can pick all of them, or you can pick something of your own that you want to take a look at. But first, are there any recent awards maybe that company has won? That's one way to stand out, right? If you know that they just recently won, I saw our ABC 27 won an Emmy Award, for example. So that would be something you could bring up. Any values, I have a screenshot of their values here. Every organization has values and mission statements. So maybe there's something you really like, a team spirit. You want to work on a diverse team of talented and competent staff that are invested in training, creating pathways. So that's something that's important to you and you want to ask them a little bit more about. Maybe you just take a look at the career page and you're like, oh, these are some open positions that I might be interested in. Been in the news for anything, specific services that they have, maybe that interest you. So this is that example again of a company webpage, taking a little bit of a look at that. And these are a couple of things I would jot down for myself to be able to go into that conversation prepared. Especially because I know, these first conversations can be a little bit nerve-wracking sometimes. You don't know what to say. You're just kind of, looking at each other. So having a couple bullet points prepared, I know really helps me. So I would really recommend it to have you have a couple already. Maybe there's a position that you saw already on their website that you just want to hear some more about. So having that written down, I want to hear about this project management internship, for example, and directly ask that recruiter about that. So we're going to practice this. So sorry, I forgot about this awesome step. So you guys were teeing me up well with the examples that you used because I had Eurofins and now I also had members first in here. So what you can do on Handshake is you can also see the representative from that organization that's coming and representing them for the most part. Most of them have them outlined. So I just took a screenshot here of Jalen's LinkedIn page because I knew that they were coming to represent members first. So thoughts of, again, as we're preparing for these conversations, is there maybe something that I would want to bring up in a conversation with Jalen? Some people have really built out LinkedIns and others don't. So this might not give you a whole lot, but it might give you something. So maybe, her about page is kind of cut off here, but maybe that's a quote that you resonate with, or you also live in Dover, PA, or you thought about going to Penn State, or you have a sibling that went to Penn State. These are just some of those examples that you can look into to prepare that conversation. So encourage you, based on this, what would be one thing that maybe you want to bring up in a conversation with them? They have the members first slogan at their header, right? So maybe you're like, what even is #WeAre, like the family thing up there? Like, what does that mean at members first? So again, we're going to bring that Padlet up. I want you to go back to that employer that you selected earlier or pick a new one, whatever you prefer. We're doing some of that homework right now, right? So you already have one under your belt. Go check out their webpage. I'll give you a minute or two to work on this. Check out their webpage and figure out what's one thing that was interesting or maybe that I would want to bring up to that employer. Again, maybe it's a position that I found. Maybe it's they were recently in the award. Maybe it's their mission statement. Maybe I just heard about Select Medical for a really long time and I just want to hear more about it. So, take a look at that company webpage and add to your Padlet. So you already have your answer. And if you didn't answer before, you can create a new one. So you can either create a new one or you can just add it in a comment down below of what you've already written. So I'll give you a minute or two to take care of or to work on that. Again, getting that homework already out of the way.
And just a reminder, the Padlet link is in the chat now.
While you're looking at it, I'll give you an example. I didn't type it in there yet, but I was the one that put ALS Global as an organization I would be interested in. And just from me looking at their website before, I would be interested because they have locations all across North America. So maybe I would think about I want to move in the future. So it would be cool if I could transfer to another place. But they also have them all across the globe. So that's something that stood out to me that I'd want to ask them a little bit more about. How do you collaborate with all the other labs that are around North America, for example?
Also, we have a couple about Lingatech, actually. One being their continual employee development, and then another comment about them hiring veterans and being a minority-owned business.
That's awesome. I didn't know that about them, so great. Helping each other out, right? We can everyone take one for the team and look one up, and then you're getting some bullet points to all use together. Anything else?
We got a comment in the room that Eurofins operates in 60 countries.
Oh, excellent.
UPMC, it's so close to home, and many people I know work there.
Great. All right, so we're going to keep moving on, but this is the time, again, we're doing some of that legwork. So if you have anything else, as you were doing a little bit of research, whether in the room or back at wherever you're at right now, definitely just keep that in mind. And if you need help researching these organizations, that's why we're doing this prep workshop now. We have plenty of time, leading up to this to meet with you one-on-one to prepare that. But we're going to go into some of those introductions. How do I navigate that? So I did my research, right, on what this is going to look like, what employers I want to talk about, but I need to practice now talking about myself. So I have a couple different conversation starters on here on the board so that when you approach that individual at their table, it's a little less awkward, right? So you have those notes already of something you might want to chat with them about, and then you approach the table. Let's hope there isn't a line at that point, and you share, hi, my name is Emily. I'm a second year forensic student, and it's, I'm really excited to meet with you. Can you tell me a little bit more about your company? Or, hi, my name's Emily. What types of roles are you hiring for? Maybe you didn't get the chance to look at that organization. They're a last minute ad, right? Or here's where we can pull some of that work that you're already looking at of, hi, my name's Emily. As I was preparing for the career fair, I noticed that you're a minority-owned organization on your website, and I was just really excited to learn a little bit more about what that looks like. So these are just a couple of those introductions that you can use or tailor to your own, language and how you talk to be able to prepare for that. So we're gonna skip the introduction piece here since we were spending some other time on that, and we're gonna translate a little bit more into the conversation. So you were able to introduce themselves. Most likely, then that recruiter will say, "Oh, hi Emily, my name is Mary, and I work at UPMC. What are you interested in?" For example. So when you start having that conversation, this is a time where you can ask them, maybe, can you just tell me a little bit more about your company? I don't know anything. Or, maybe what's your favorite part about working there? That's my favorite conversation or question to ask anyone because the answers are always so different, right? But it gives you some really good insight onto what they value. Maybe it's the collaborative team spirit. Maybe they have really good flexible work schedule. Maybe, they like because they have professional development opportunities for them to keep learning. It gives you so many different, perspectives there. But this is the time also where you can tell them a little bit more about you, right? Give them that elevator pitch that's so important of when somebody says, oh, can you tell me about yourself? You have that 60-second summary, right? And put you in contact with. Remember, all these people that are here because they're excited to interact with you and want to provide students an opportunity. It's their job, to make that impact, to help people get hired. So, don't feel bad by asking that. Maybe share some coursework. Maybe you're in a cool course right now that you think would relate really well to them. So, talk about that. Some work that you recently completed or that you're currently doing. Any research that you're currently working on. I know a lot of you are doing some really excellent research and project work. So give them that overview during that conversation, part of that 1-minute spiel. So we are not going to practice elevator pitches right now, but Evan and I are going to practice kind of what that might look like. We have some of the words on here just, so that you can follow along too.
I'll be Gia.
Okay, so Evan's going to be Gia or Evan, whatever he prefers here.
Gia.
But we're just going to kind of walk you through what that conversation looks like. So take it away, Gia.
Hi, I'm Gia, a senior majoring in interactive media, and I'm exploring a career in marketing.
Oh, awesome, Gia. So nice to meet you and excited to be here today. What aspects of marketing are you interested in?
Well, last summer, I interned at a healthcare startup where I was helping expand their social media audience. It made me realize that I really love writing and editing videos. So I'm looking to use those skills in a full-time role. Does your company hire for social media marketing roles?
Oh, yeah. So we do have some social media marketing roles sometimes. I don't think we have something right now available, but I definitely would encourage you, take my business card, check out our career page, of course, yeah. And, follow up with me. That way I have your email, because once they become available, I'd love to chat with you in a little bit more detail. But, I have a friend that works over at Actolin, and I think they actually might be hiring for a social media role, so make sure you go chat with them too.
Thanks, I will.
Awesome, of course. So that was our interaction, right? It shows you how you give a little elevator spiel, right? We got a cheat sheet because we already prepared a little bit, but so can you. You can practice. I like to say, practice that with a trusted friend that's going to give you that real feedback, right? And be like, oh, I think you're, even more skilled than you're giving yourself credit for. Or practice with us. We love to help you build that confidence, talk about yourself, because I know it's really awkward sometimes for a lot of us. So that was our little interaction of what that conversation can look like. And then as you saw in that conversation, we kind of had our wrap up a little bit, right? I said I was going to give them the business card, but Gia, aka Evan, could have also said, "Oh, can I have your business card to follow up with you?" If you have your resume printed out, which we highly encourage you to do, give them that resume. That way they have your email, your phone number that they can follow up, see a little bit about your skills. Let them know, hey, I'm going to follow you on LinkedIn if that's okay after our conversation. You can also follow people on Handshake if you so choose. So just you can tell them about that. Thank them again for their time, thank them for coming to campus, because some of these employers are traveling kind of far, guys. Like, they're excited to come in, but it was very kind of them to come in. So just any thank you can do, show that polite communication. And then ever since COVID, I feel like shaking hands is some people do it, some people don't. So if you're prompted and you feel comfortable, give them that firm handshake. But if not, it's all good of like, okay, thanks so much, and just kind of slowly walk away there as well. So the most important thing is get something that you can follow up with, so that when you go back to your dorm or your home or wherever, you may be, is you want to follow up with them within 24 hours. So keep them top of mind, and send them that email thank you, or connect with them on LinkedIn and send a little note of, it was so great meeting you yesterday at HU's career fair. Like, I loved learning more about Select Medical, and that way you can keep them top of mind. If you didn't give them your resume, maybe you didn't get the chance to print it before the career fair, you can also send that via email as well. And then maybe Gia had a position that Gia would be really good for. Gia wants to follow up and apply to that position like as soon as possible. And that way you're showing that you're, sense of urgency as well. So if they do recommend some positions that they have for you, definitely apply to that and keep your information top of mind. So a couple last points here. I just have some fun graphics. Is bring copies of your resume, okay? Especially, if you can print them ahead of time. Printing the day of can be a little chaotic. So either get here early to print them, because unfortunately our team is going to be busy with everything that we aren't going to be able to print them for you. So if you need support with that, get it from us ahead of time, before that specific day of. We like to recommend bring multiple copies of your resume. You might think, I'm only going to talk to 2 people. I only want to talk to these 2 groups. But there could be, again, they might say, hey, I don't have something, but I think that organization does. Or maybe you just, start you're there, you're feeling comfortable, and you want to talk to some other people. So having more copies is way better than not having enough and having to scramble, because that does happen sometimes. I thought this graphic was kind of fun. The person has a little cape on, like they're feeling really confident looking in the mirror. Dress however you feel confident, okay? We recommend business casual, business professional. If you have the supplies, we have the career closet in our office that is open at any point leading up to the event. But if you don't feel comfortable wearing a suit and dress shoes, then don't do it. But remember, this is your first impression to make a good positive impression. So I would really recommend, not wearing your pajamas that day. Wear something that you're, still showing forth professionalism in some capacity. And then the last graphic is just to show this is a networking opportunity as well. Maybe you're not currently searching for a position, and that's okay. It's an opportunity for you to hear about other positions that maybe you would never have thought about. We also have quite a few alumni coming back to represent their organization, so it's a good way to get to know them. Couple peers, we have a couple grad students that are coming with their company, so it's a good way, again, to meet peers that can help you with networking. I like to give the story that I actually found my first job at a career fair in my undergraduate. So I went to a virtual career fair because it was COVID times. I met with them. It was in the fall, but I wasn't graduating until May. Met with them, thought maybe that would be of interest to me, but she said, no, you're not ready enough for us. We need you to be closer to graduation. I was really interested in them, so I kept them top of mind, and I followed back up in February, and that, went a long way. So definitely keep these people in your network that you can use to follow up and reach back out and say, hey, remember when we spoke at Millersville's virtual career fair, for example? Yours would be HU's in-person career fair in the fall. I'm getting closer to graduation. I'm only 3 months away. Can we chat about that to see if you have any opportunities? And then maybe they'll say, of course, we have some stuff, or they might tell you, oh, not right now. And again, you can keep that person in your network. So that's the overall on how we're going to navigate the fair, but we really want to make sure you have that strong resume. So tailoring it to the specific positions that you're aiming for. So if you are an interactive media student coming for that social media position, let's highlight some of those social media skills on your resume. Utilize a clean and professional format. Include your appropriate contact information so that they can follow up with you. Do not put your headshot on your resume. That was a trend for a little bit. I think we're on the downsides of that trend, thankfully, but do not put that on there. Make sure to list your education appropriately. So no high school unless you're a first-year student or you're a dual enrollment student. If you have a bachelor's degree and this is maybe your second master's, let's take the bachelor's degree off your resume and just showcase your last two or your current master's degree and your previous master's degree as an example. Definitely showcase on that. This is really important. Showcase on your resume when you're expected to graduate. So when you're chatting with these employers, they know, oh, Emily's going to be done in May of 2026, approaching graduation, or, oh, it's going to be a little bit. Maybe let's, approach internship with them. Highlight any key achievements that you have. Prioritize your most relevant experience and skills. So if you have a lot of part-time experience, that's great. But if you've done your internship or you've done project 1 or project 2 yet, make sure that those are on there because they're most likely the most relevant experience that you have. And then last but most important, proofread. So this is that first impression you're making, right? If there's errors on there, whether it be spelling or formatting or just anything, that can leave a really negative impression in that person's mind. Maybe they're not going to give you a call back. So proofread that, have a professor proofread it, have a friend. Our team would love to proofread it or help you with any of these things. So again, we're doing this workshop now to get in your head of, hey, I might need to work on a couple things leading up to the career fair. So you have a couple weeks now to get that resume review. Email us. Our email will be on the last slide to accurately prepare and have your best foot forward. All right, so let's go back to that Padlet one more time. Or technically 2 more times. So use the QR code or the link that you have in the live stream. And I would like to know what's one tip that you learned today that you want to implement. So reflect on our, 45 minutes together that we've had so far and pick what's one thing that you are going to implement, whether it be at this career fair or as you move forward if you're not unfortunately able to come to this one.
We got one. I will definitely follow up 24 hours afterwards.
Excellent. I love that. Too bad it's anonymous or I can't hold the person to it.
Seeing one say, practicing their introduction and elevator speech.
Excellent. Great idea. We'd be happy to practice your elevator speech with you. That's a quick 15-minute appointment.
Another one, researching the companies before.
Great. Mm-hmm.
Knowing what questions to ask ahead of time.
Excellent. Those questions ahead of time just, in my opinion, make you feel way more confident, right? I don't like small talk. I'm not good at it. So being able to have some things that I already want to talk about, it makes it so much easier.
Wearing what I'm confident in.
Great. Yeah. And ever since COVID, I would say the business attire has changed so drastically, right? Like before, some schools, you have to show up in a suit and tie or, dressed in a blazer to come to the career fair. They won't let you in. Of course, we don't, agree with that. We want you to come with what you're most confident in and what you'll make a positive impression in. But also, the world of work has kind of changed on what we feel most confident in at work. So many people sit behind virtual meetings now that a polo is just fine, or, a nice blouse, or whatever you feel most confident in, and, kind of vibing off of other people. I would say no employer at the career fair is going to come in a suit and tie. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty confident in that. Most of them are going to come in khakis or jeans and a polo representing their organization. So, we always say it's always great to make one step above that. So if you're going to an interview and you're like, oh, they're probably going to be wearing khakis and a polo, what can I do to be a little bit more dressed up? But, same thing with the career fair. We're going to match that vibe, maybe a little bit, fancier. Or if that's not what you feel comfortable in, then don't do it and wear what you feel most confident in. And again, we have the career closet. If anyone needs help, there's some really great stuff in there.
Couple more. One is adapting my resume style to an American market.
Oh, that's so important. We can certainly help with that if needed as well.
And then printing multiple copies of my resume.
Excellent. Great. So want to wrap up. I think this is kind of fun. I don't know what everyone else feels, but one GIF. Do you all know what GIFs are? Like the fun little either pictures or GIFs are like quick little moving things. So again, on that Padlet, add a GIF or a picture or a word, whatever you feel most confident on. You can just add it and there's like different options like picture, text, or GIF on how you're describing or how you describe your feeling for Career Week. Is it I'm super excited. Am I scared? I need to do some more work. So add that just as a fun wrapping it up. And I can't see them, so I'm going to let Evan explain.
We got one in there. It's SpongeBob looking nervous and anxious in bed.
Oh. Well, that SpongeBob that's looking anxious and nervous in bed should come talk to our office before so that they're not looking anxious and scared.
We got one of Ross Geller going, woohoo!
Yeah.
Oh, we got one in there of a dancing Elmo. Looks excited.
Oh, very nice. Mixed emotions, I can tell. Any last gifts before we close out?
Oh,
If it's not appropriate, you don't have to.
it's okay. I think someone's just feeling confident. They're like Goku Super Saiyaning their confidence. Yeah.
Excellent. We'll leave on that. Confident and exciting Elmo. So give you a minute here if anyone wants to type in the live chat or on Padlet or in person. Any questions that we didn't answer that you would need, some help with or some support? And while we wait for them to potentially come in, because I know there's a brief delay, wanted to re-highlight the events that we have. So they're all on Handshake that you can register for. Would You Hire Me is in person and virtual in this room. Our student networking mixer is going to be in the cafe area of the first floor. We did something like this last fall and it was a packed house. So I'm really excited about that because I know a lot of you don't get to, meet people too much from different majors. So this is a cool way to do that. October 15th is the career fair. So that's what we are most preparing for today, 1 to 3 on the 12th floor. Level Up Your Career, the game will be on the 13th floor, only in person. And then AI and the job search will be a fully virtual event that you will have a link to. So if you haven't signed up yet, make sure you sign up for these on Handshake so that you can keep getting alerts for them. And then I put I just blanked on the word, our email. So this goes to our entire team. So careerservices@harrisburgu.edu. If you need to book an appointment, you can either do that on Handshake or just email us. If you want a resume review ahead of time, if you need to come visit the career closet and want to make sure somebody's there because we can help you, email us there. If you're just needing any other support, we are here to help you. And that goes to our entire team so we can get to you as quick as possible. Any questions? No questions? Cool. All right. Well, thanks. Oh, one question or a gift.
What questions should we ask the employer?
Oh, great question. So what questions should you ask the employer? That kind of depends on what your goal is to get out of it. If you're looking for an internship, then you can share, hey, I'm a project management student. I have about a year's worth of experience in a previous country. I'm looking to gain experience in the United States. Do you have any, construction project management internships that I could, benefit from? Or you can ask them, hey, what skills are you looking for in candidates? Because that'll help you set yourself apart when you go and apply to that company in a couple months when you're actually looking for a position. You can ask them again, what do you like about this company? Because it's a time for you to figure out, do I even want to potentially even apply there in the future? If there's a certain benefit that's really important to you of, hey, do you guys offer tuition reimbursement to your employees? So a wide variety, and we can certainly help you with that if you need a little bit more guidance based on your own individual goals. Email us or book an appointment with us and we can chat through that and prepare some effective questions based on what you're looking to get out of it. All right, cool. Well, thank you everyone for joining us, for participating online and in the room here. Again, please register for the events that we have upcoming. And if you need any support, reach out to us. We are here to help you. Thank you.